one of the one of the things that is this recording? Yeah, it is. And I look down for half a second. I'm going 10 miles an hour. And I still almost ran into the curb. So anyway, yeah, so something that I have been obsessed with, and I'm sure that, I'm probably not unique in this way, but man, I have given so much thought to how I would have done things differently in various situations throughout my life. I mean, even to the point of obsessing about it. I've created sections of screenplays, all sorts of scenarios with just exploring the idea of going back in time and changing things, doing things differently. I could go on and on about it from a lot of different perspectives. But here's where I am with it now. And really, this is important, man, because look, you wouldn't have been you back then if you hadn't done what you did and behaved the way that you behaved. It's just not even, it's incongruous. It doesn't even make sense. It would be like throwing such a wrench into everything. And even if you could do that, you would be in a situation where it would be awful. It would be awful. It would be like a living hell to have all the experience, all the life experience and knowledge of the future and everything. You may think, that you could take advantage of it or whatever, but trust me, I had a dream about it one time, and it was real clear, like all of the dynamics of it. It was a living hell. It would be horrible, man, to be you now trapped in your 20-year-old body or your 12-year-old body or whatever the hell, And even in talking about it this way, it's just missing so many points. It's just such a non-starter, really. But, I spent probably decades of my life now on a non-starter a lot of the time, in my imagination and stuff. But it was a necessary exercise, I figure. And the thing is that you wouldn't have been you. That's really the point that I'm looking to make here. You would not be you if it had not been that. And the crux of my point, and it always takes me forever to get to it, is that the real problem would be if you looked back and didn't want to change anything, right? That's the whole point, really, right? We have not achieved perfection, and we're working our way to that, let's say, right? As good enough a scenario as any, that we're essentially being drawn to some sort of perfection of being or something like that. So if we didn't look back and want to change stuff, right? Really wish we had done things differently or would have done things differently, right? But and maybe even a layer deeper on this, and I'll leave it, is that what I've come to realize for myself and all of us operating in the egoistic manner that we do, I wouldn't, for the most part, most of my thoughts that I would change are things where I could take advantage of the situation, right? Where I could turn out, quote, better somehow, where I could get, have, I don't know, indulge myself in the, have all the money, have a bunch of money, be talented at various, more practiced and talented at things that I haven't taken the time to do or to understand, to study, to be able, like, whatever, man, go to a different college, play football for a different school at a different position. I mean, that's the kinds of stuff that I will think about. So why would the universe even give half a shit about the notion of somebody going back and making more of their egoistic self? I mean, who of us ever thinks about going back in time and wanting to, truly go back? I mean, of course but are you going to go back and try and prevent the Holocaust? You're going to go back and warn people about some event, because then that's going to have to kind of become your life goal, more or less. It's going to take up a lot of energy. And then all these other things you wanted to do for yourself are going to fall off along the wayside. Anyway, the point being, more than anything, of course you want to change your past. Of course you would do things differently. Of course you do. Of course you do. Think about that. Think about how you would change it. Think about how you would change it and where you're coming from on all of that. That's an interesting thing to contemplate.